Hello there, Dan the Weatherman here. Hey, welcome to my weather show. This is the global edition where we take a look at things going on around the globe. There's a lot going on, and now of course we're getting into what we call the season of transition. Getting towards spring, getting towards autumn, depending on where you are. And think of that like Mother Nature just taking some high octane fuel, throwing it on the fire, boom, and everything just gets going. And that is exactly what will happen. You just take one look at, you've seen this of course many times over the last several weeks, the colors, the orange and the red, temperatures above normal. We've seen quite a few extremes this season. The blue, cooler than normal. But when you all of a sudden get the equal day, equal night, the equinox, so we start to get, of course, sunshine down towards the cold, dark Antarctic. We start to get shorter days further north. That just gets the flecks of colder air meeting all that warmth, and that just brings, boom, weather to life. So you can see some of the surges of warm over the course of the week. A couple of interesting ones, these blobs here. That's Antarctica opening the floodgates, saying, well, here you go, have some cold air, churning its way in, bringing about some of the what we call equinoctial gales you see across Australia, South Africa, and spots at west. The heat we've seen over parts of North America, that will still be significant. There'll also be some significant warming again to parts of Greenland, with the leftovers of a tropical troublemaker that was across the east of the US several days ago. That will just go in and just boom, send in some of that warmth and significant rain. Warm again for parts of Europe, and also significant warmth once again for northern parts of Asia. Look at them going through the course of the week, and these surges of cold, look at them coming out. That will really, it just brings spring to life, and you get cold meeting warm. That brings the jet stream to life, and you get stuff, you get weather. Look at the warm there, eastern parts of North America. Significant warmth again there to Greenland, and a little bit of a cool, just the hints of that cooler air working into parts of the northern hemisphere. And you've still got the cold, Mother Nature going, boom, here you go, have some more of this as the season wears on. And you take one look at the steering winds, the jet stream, and look at the wiggle here. Nowadays the jet stream is more wiggly, and when you get more bend, more wiggle, you get more oomph in the weather. That's why we see more of the extremes. And you just, of course, you've got the contrast of warm, you've got cold, and look at those bends there. Big significant system, that one churning into parts of Australia. And notice this here, we've got more of a quieter flow, a zonal flow as we call it, more west to east across North America instead of that big, huge mountain of warm air we had over the summer, but with some energy, with some cooler air meeting warm. Look at that curl there moving into Greenland. That's a surge of some warmth, quieter weather until we get the change of windy westerlies into western parts of Europe. And we're talking tropical troublemakers, we're talking typhoons as well to western parts of the Pacific. And look at this churned up mess there. There is a lot going on. Mentioning the tropical troublemakers, the typhoon Chanthu, east coast of China, Taiwan. Look at this, the red of course and the yellow is the cloud. This is a pretty mean looking thing. It was a super typhoon. It's got winds still packing a punch, 250 to close to 300 kilometers per hour. Taiwan sitting there, the actual center of the eye, probably just saying just offshore, but it's a little bit too close to comfort for Taipei. They will be seeing that churn past, a little bit of dry air, but it's got great outflow. Steering winds here, but watch what happens. This thing could be quite a significant rainmaker. There's a small little steering upper trough, as we call it here. Watch this thing go through. The actual track takes us just east of Taiwan over the course of the next day or so. Shanghai, eastern China, sitting right there. That thing is going to sit, and then it's just going to stop and open the floodgates. Watch what happens. I'll show you the actual track. There it goes. We watch this thing move through the coming week. And these things are like bulls in a china shop. They need to be pushed around, but once they're going, they do take their time. So remember the steering winds here? Watch this thing. It's just meandering along eastern China, and it just sits. So you've got the fire hose the whole time sitting there. There's nothing to push it away. Then eventually it dumps some rain across parts of South Korea and eases away. You think, well, yeah, that's a lot of rain. Check this out. This is the rainfall over the course of the week. The actual track here, where you see the purple and that almost blue color, that's several hundred millimeters of rain. Taiwan, Shanghai, they will get significant flooding from this as we run through the week. And then when this thing finally does move through parts of Korea and also southern parts of Japan, they are under the gun for that rain. But how does this happen? One of the reasons is the wiggly jet stream. And with more warmth, you get more bend, and that happens. So That yellow blob, that of course, these are the steering winds pushing it. See, these are the westerlies, the jet stream, that little bend there. And so you can see where it's going to go, but watch what happens. The westerlies move faster. This guy is just the bull in the china shop, moves through. And then there's nothing to push him. And that little bubble there, all of a sudden, builds the jet stream. So all of a sudden, he can't get any push. So he's not going to go anywhere. And that's him slowly fading away as the westerlies finally grab him later in the week. So it's like you've got all this moisture, you sit in one place and you dump a lot of rain in one place. Significant flooding there, eastern parts of China. Look at this. This is Palanteria, south of Sicily. This, of course, was a potential tornado whipping up things as it moved through. And you think, tornado, Sicily, the Mediterranean, late summer? Normally you have the big mountain of warm air, the summertime high. But look at these storms in that V shape there. This is Sicily, that is Italy, north coast of Africa. That, of course, is the nasty looking thunderstorm there that dumped out that particular cell. And once again, it's the more wiggly jet stream. This is the upper level pattern. I know it looks a little bit messy. The British Isles here, where you see red, that is energy. This is the upper flow. And this little bend here, that was the little bend that provided the thunderstorms that brought the active storms to, of course, dump that particular nasty little tornado there across Sicily. The whole feature, the upper low, slowly moving away. There'll still be some little settled weather across parts of Europe over the course of the week. It has been rather quiet. There's been little bits and pieces. A low will slide slowly in towards Iberia over the course of the week. But it's more so wet further west, quieter further east, but then what's the change? And this is all down to, remember the tropical troublemaker in the Atlantic? We start to see wind and rain move towards northern and western parts of Britain over the week. Finally, some wetter weather moves towards Poland and the Ukraine, western parts of Russia. But this is just a hint for the northwestern parts of Europe. Autumn is on the way, you've got some wind, you've got some rain. Get ready, there will certainly be a change. And we go west and we take a look at things, just go back to that, I'll show you. This, of course, is significant rain. This is from the tropical moisture. Britain there, this is rainfall for the week, and this is Greenland. Tropical moisture, tropical low, bang! Look at that. That's the coastal parts of Greenland and Iceland, and we've seen that purple colour. That is 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. Now you might say, not much, but all that tropical air going in, we've seen such significant warming to the ice sheet for Greenland this summer season. There could be more significant warming, and of course not to mention the rain from that as well. North America, USA. We've been talking hurricanes. It is a bit of a quieter week. We've got the big mountain warm air going a bit flatter, a bit more squash with the jet stream there. But put your eyes down here to the Bay of Campeche, southern Gulf of Mexico. There could be a tropical troublemaker forming here, which could just slowly form and then start lurking up the Texas coast over the course of the week, which could bring some significant rain, not only to parts of Texas. Boom, here we go, look at this. The actual position, it may make landfall, maybe Corpus Christi, maybe Texas, but it just sits and it doesn't get any great steering, so it's going to dump a lot of rain once again on Louisiana over the course of the week. That will then slowly track in towards the Tennessee Valley in the southeast through the week. Notice elsewhere, not much going on. You've got a couple of fronts, bit more of the storm track with the jet coming south. Hints, though, of some wetter weather coming into the Pacific Northwest, which is some good news because, of course, all the fires we've seen over the western parts of the US, we need some rain. So at least we're getting hints of that, meaning the upper mountain of warm air, the ridge, will start breaking down as the storm track comes in. Probably a couple of weeks away at least for some decent rain, but at least the signs of that. And there's, of course, the track for the rain there from that potential tropical troublemaker, where you see, of course, that purple 50 to 100 millimeters, even more, a couple of hundred from parts of the Texas coast right the way in towards Louisiana and towards Tennessee. So a lot going on as usual. That's the weather for now.